Brethren, sisters, bandsmen and women, ladies and gentlemen all, on behalf of the three Lagany lodges and bands, I would welcome you to this, our 143rd day of protest against the scandalous decision to prevent these brethren and their bands from returning home after the 12th of July celebrations this year. Our theme for today's address from the Orange perspective is Ulster, the land that we love so well. The County Grand Master thanked and congratulated the flag protesting group, and it is great to see you here today. And there seemed to be a lot of people worried about your safety. They thought there would be trouble, from the Secretary of State right down to the shopkeepers, telling us all how terrible it was going to be in Belfast city centre. But of course, there was no trouble. And the clue for all of them is in the name: Protestant Peaceful Protest. So we congratulate you on a peaceful and dignified parade, and especially welcome you here today to our regular Saturday protest parade. You in the bands fraternity, in the Orange fraternity, and in the general community have all been receiving a lot of advice lately about what you shouldn't do. The Secretary of State said that your parade shouldn't really be taking place, and she wished that was the case. Well, Secretary of State, once again, we have a message for you. We wish that your Parades Commission hadn't been responsible for some of the most vindictive and illogical decisions that have ever been made here regarding parading in Northern Ireland. Decisions that have totally ignored the human rights of the Protestant people. Decisions that have been made to appease Republicans and the IRA. Decisions that have criminalised decent people, Protestant people, young and old, who are now in the criminal justice system, and whose only crime was loyalty. People who are prepared to appear before the courts. People who are prepared to be punished, right up to and sadly including incarceration. People so passionate about our country, they are prepared to do this, prepared to stand night after night at Woodvale, prepared to come here week after week to Woodvale to passively and peaceably protest against these injustices being foisted upon us. Whilst preparing for this address today, I was listening to a CD that won't surprise you to know was titled The Ulster Division. And whilst reflecting on that, one line came home to me that represents all of us here today, and it means just what we are. And that line is simply, "My Ulster, I do this for you." In September last year, when we had thousands of people on parade, and even more thousands enjoying the music and the colour of their history and covenant parade, which was recognised amongst the most successful, iconic and peaceful parades that we have ever had. And yet, out of that parade, two young men find themselves convicted for playing a tune while passing an empty building. It is a disgrace. Yes, Secretary of State, we wish these lads and others hadn't been convicted. We wish our parades weren't attacked by Republicans. We wish we could walk to church without intrusive, unnecessary, heavy-handed policing and blatantly sectarian protest groups. We, like you, Secretary of State, wish for many things. But we live in a real world, a world here in Northern Ireland where there is no tolerance, no respect, and naked, unadulterated hatred shown towards our culture and our traditions. And we will deal with this and peacefully protest against such sectarianism. In a sentence, Secretary of State, we will not be wished away.
Hear, hear.
We don't need to be lectured by the Secretary of State, the Irish News, Martin McGuinness, or indeed anybody else about what damage and the cost our protests cause. We saw this city, this province, this very road bombed many times by the Provost at the cost of billions of pounds to our United Kingdom economy, and not forgetting for 1 minute the absolute terror caused to all the innocents. We saw our people maimed and murdered by those, or at least the cohorts of those, who are now lavishing in Stormont, administrating British rule. We know this violence caused to this United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland because of the evil that was, and still is, the provisional IRA. Because we experienced all this firsthand here in our beloved Ulster, we can tell you that we love this country. That's why our protests are peaceful. It's because of the country we love that we are protesting. Republicans did not terrorise us into a United Ireland. Nationalists will not vote us into a United Ireland. And we will not stand by and see our history and our culture undermined. And importantly, the proud displays of our Britishness removed. And why will we do this? Put quite simply, because we are not just Protestants, we are not just Unionists, we are not just Loyalists, but we are Ulster! And ladies and gentlemen, we want to see our Northern Ireland prosper. We want to see tourists flocking to our lovely country. We want our shops to do well. We, in fact, want to live together in this shared and equal society with all those who would claim and who indeed are our neighbours. It will not be the peaceful Protestant protests that prevent these things, but the ongoing war of attrition from Sinn Féin IRA. The car bomb has returned to the city centre. The bomb scare is again an almost daily occurrence. Incendiary bombs have been planted. Unionists and loyalists are being advised that they are being targeted and de facto under death threat from dissident Republicans. Yet it is the peaceful protests that seem to generate most debate and cause most concern. To those who need to be told, terrorism has returned to our streets. So, Chief Constable, your decision is this. Keep your detectives and all your uniformed officers tying up identified who was playing a flute or who was peacefully protesting or seeking or go and seek out those who are the enemies of Ulster, those who are trying to bring down this state. Stop the criminalisation of loyalists for celebrating their culture and secure the conviction of the Republicans' intent on murder and on terror. We don't want to be here at Christmas, but we are prepared to be. We will be here to highlight the injustice and the discrimination we face until the wrong done to our lodges, our bands and our communities is righted. To this end, ladies and gentlemen, we will again be launching an initiative before Christmas to try and break this deadlock. We want to do more than wish our way up the road. We are working day and night to resolve this issue, and we will not be found wanting in the coming weeks in the terms of effort and commitment to see our lodges and our bands home. In conclusion, thank you again for your support. Stay strong in our passive, peaceful protests, wherever they may be. I can say with some conviction that I believe absolutely that we will see this issue resolved in the not too distant future. I have been asked by the flags protesters to remind you that the first anniversary is on Tuesday the 3rd of December. 1 year on, still undefeated, still Ulster. Our cause is right, everyone. United we stand, divided we fall, and our watchword will always be, no surrender!